Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, welcome back to the show. We have a special guest here, Alice. She is a partner at Pender Hastings Capital, a leading real estate private equity firm with funds in both Canada and the US. Her fund specializes in investing in top-tier land developments who transform raw land into buildable lots for national home builders. She's a former M&A attorney and an award-winning entrepreneur and investor featured in Forbes, the Globe and Mail, and the Wall Street Journal. We're going to dive into the world of real estate private equity today, land development, and what it takes to succeed in this high-stakes industry. So, Alice, welcome to the show. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience? Tell a little bit of your background, how you got here, and we'll get started.
Okay, thank you for inviting me onto the show, Christian. I'm so pleased to be speaking to the group at Investor Fuel. So I started out my journey as a lawyer in Canada. So I practiced corporate law in Vancouver, and this is at a big law firm. So I worked on IPOs, I worked on securities offerings, due diligence, and all that good stuff. But I've always been very entrepreneurial. So I knew that I wanted to be in business. I just didn't know exactly what kind of business. So 15 years later, I'm now here speaking to you. I'm a serial founder, co-founder of businesses. I've, operated businesses, exited businesses, and along the way have been an investor as well. So because of my couple of exits, I've had some personal capital to invest. And so I just grew this passion for investing. And I actually built most of my personal wealth through investing in private equity. So that's, an area that I'm very, very passionate about. I really believe that the ultimate goal is to, go from being an entrepreneur that's scaling the active business towards the path of becoming a professional investor, because those are two different skills. Some are transferable, but really two are, very different skills. So I'm happy to talk to you guys today about what we do at our firm and our current investment thesis.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Alice. So I'm curious to know, what inspired your transition from being in law to real estate private equity?
It's actually quite a natural transition because I was always very entrepreneurial, as I said. But growing up, with Asian parents, it was kind of like I had to follow one of the prescribed path. You either become a doctor,
Yeah.
or you become a dentist, or become a lawyer. And so I kind of chose my path to go to law school, but with the mindset of one day I'm going to use this skill set that I acquire from law school and practicing law towards business. So I knew business was my ultimate goal. I just didn't have a very clear understanding of what that business was. And I mean, in today's fast changing world with, all the technology advances and macroeconomic factors changing rapidly, it's really hard to forecast exactly what you're going to be involved in as a young person. So I'm glad that I kind of left the path open, but really focused on acquiring a very solid skill set. So which having been trained as a lawyer, it's a great way to learn how to negotiate deals, a great way to be able to digest a huge amount of data in a short time, and then synthesize patterns and then understanding how to apply that in different situations. But I was always very driven to do something in business, and so it was just a natural segue. So I knew that after working as a junior lawyer at a big law firm in Canada for a couple years, and being sort of thrown a couple files on Friday afternoon or right before my trips by the partners, I knew it was my time to strike out and do my own thing. So hard to believe that was 16 years ago. And since then, since I quit my legal job, I have not worked a day since. Like, I love my work, and work is fun, and it's just, the best of times. It's the most challenging of times, as you guys know, but it's the best of times.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
That's amazing. I appreciate you sharing that, Alice. So let's talk a little bit about your fund, right? I know your fund in the U.S. invests in best in class, land development. You turn raw land into buildable lots for national home builders. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I think, everyone living in the States knows that there's a huge housing crisis. So on any particular day, we're anywhere short from 2 to 4 million single family homes, right? And so people need homes. Like, homes are kind of the foundation of our existence. It's so important. It's where families are formed. It's where you can go home to your sanctuary, after hard days of work. So that's so important, right? And there's meaning in providing homes for people. So we're very much short. So this shortage of housing sort of stemmed from the last financial crisis. So circa, 2010, around that era. So there's just been this pent up demand, but not enough supply. So we're talking about anywhere, again, from 2 to 4 million of housing that's short. And people need housing, right? So whether it's for a young, family, a new family that's formed, it could be from, elderly people that's downsizing, empty nesting. It could be from people that are splitting up. So therefore, it goes from one household to two or multiple. And so, we are just in such a shortage. And so we're talking about, we as a fund, we invest in best in class land developers in the country that turn raw land into finished lots for national home builders. So who are the national home builders? There's D.R. Horton, which is a public company. They're probably the biggest home builder in the country. And at $35 billion annual revenue, guess how many homes they can build a year? Take a guess.
I don't even want to take a guess. I bet it's a lot.
Yeah, so you would think, maybe a couple millions, right? No,
Yeah.
they build under 100,000 homes a year at
Oh, wow.
$35 billion of annual revenue. Yeah, and it's a company that's huge, huge market cap. It's backed by Warren Buffett. And so if you think about it, our land developers work with customers like the D.R. Horton, like the Lennar, Pulte, like all these large companies. Could be private too, but they're very scaled. But all of them building at once at their maximum capacity is still going to take them 10 years to catch up to that supply shortfall. So
Wow.
when you're going into an investment thesis, you want to think about, is there a big enough of a problem that we can solve, and we can solve for the next 5-10 years? And I think this is a very worthwhile problem that's going to not disappear. It's going to stay, it's going to be here for a while. So that's essentially the market that we operate in.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about a bit about, maybe some economic cycles, right? Interest rate fluctuations, as you know, as you were just speaking about, things are definitely changing, right? That could be impacting, land development. So I'm curious to know, how do you mitigate risks inside of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'll just give a little bit of an intro about our firm and also how we work. So,
Mhm.
we are a firm that has strategies both in Canada and also in the US because we're a group of Canadian partners. And I personally relocated to California during the pandemic. So, I've been in the States for the last 5, 6 years.
Mhm.
So, we as professional capital raisers as well as asset allocators or capital allocators, we spend a lot of time studying different strategies, and we spend a lot of time studying different geographies. So what makes sense for one geographic market does not necessarily translate to another. So for
Mhm.
example, in Vancouver, which is our kind of first market, home market, we have 6 funds covering 12 multiplex development projects. So that's a subset of multifamily where we convert single family home lots into a multiplex. So it could be a fourplex, could be a sixplex. So that's what we do in Vancouver. But that strategy may or may not translate into different markets in the States. So in the US, we spend a lot of time looking at different things. Like in 2022, my business partner, James, spent all of the entire year in Texas looking at value add multifamily. But of course, that strategy became not as desirable towards the end of 2022 as the interest rate hiked, right? So
Mhm.
that really just made a lot of deals don't, cancel. And so we moved on to studying different strategies. So then we looked at other things, and we eventually uh, landed at this thesis of land development because one, we believe that the market is huge. It's going to be a problem that's worth solving for the next 5, 10 years. And also we just believe that it's an area where if we align with the best in class operators, we can really excel in, and we can grab a really huge chunk of the market share.
That's very cool. Very cool. So let's talk a bit about, some advice, someone that's looking to get into what you're doing, right? Real estate, private equity, getting into land development, someone that's just getting out of the gate, what type of advice would you give to somebody, maybe trying to get, their feet wet and just get started in this industry?
So what's interesting about land development, the way that we work with the national home builders, is that it's actually pretty hard to get into as an
Mm.
operator. And you asked me a question about risk, and let me just go into that part a little bit more. So what we do is we actually get calls from national home builders,
Mhm.
and when we say we, I'm talking about us along with our operating partners that
Mhm.
actually do the land development. So we get calls from the DR Hortons or Lennars of the world, and then they'll say, "Hey, we're looking to build 500 homes here, 1,000 homes there at this
Mhm.
site," right? And then they have a very data driven approach. Like they have all the data
Mhm.
to make those type of market calls as to where to build. So then we answer the calls, or we answer the calls to participate in the bid. And then we want to do the job of either doing land entitlement or horizontal development. So land
Mhm.
development is really two parts. It's either entitling the land,
Mhm.
or after the land is entitled, what you want to do is then you want to horizontally develop. So as opposed to vertically develop, vertical development, which is building homes or building towers,
Mhm.
we're building roads and we're building other infrastructure for the raw land to turn into finished lots for the national home builders to come in and start building their homes. So for both components of the land development, the way we mitigate the risk is that let's say, let's take the case of horizontal development.
Mm.
We buy the entitled land from, let's say, D.R. Horton, knowing that they want to actually develop in at that specific site, right? So they will say, this is a piece of entitled land. Please buy it from us. This is the price. But once you're finished with the horizontal development, we're going to pay you $70,000 per lot. So we have that contract signed at the outset before we even begin day one of work.
Wow.
So where can you find a business where the exit is actually built in at day one?
If you can find it,
Right?
let
Can
me
you
know.
imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we love this strategy because this doesn't happen very often. I mean, I rarely see that. And, having been a startup founder in technology and consumer packaging goods, I wish that there was such a thing where, the exit's built in, but there's no such thing. So we love this strategy because the risk is mitigated by our land developing partner having signed this contract with the ultimate customer, the national home builders.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And not only that, we add on that assurance of risk mitigation by shopping the deal around. So even though we have that signed contract with DR Horton in hand, we will often go and actually line up a secondary and tertiary buyer that might be interested in the same lot. Because, we try to stay with very short duration projects, so 14 months to 30 months. So these are very, very short duration investments, but because things are changing so rapidly in the world right now, it's hard to forecast what may happen, right, macroeconomically in 3 years. So we want to make sure that 3 years from now, when the projects are done, it's going to be like, someone's going to buy it, right? And someone's going to buy it at the optimum price. And at the same time, you might be glad to find out that these national home buyers, they actually will pay a deposit throughout the project timeline. So let's say if the project is 2 years, they actually have a takedown schedule. So they will pay a deposit, like a 10 to 20% deposit of the sale price. Yeah, so every 50 lots that we release, they're going to pay into that. So their skin is very much in the game, from the beginning. So that's why we love this land development thesis.
That's incredible. I mean, this just definitely sounds like the way to go currently right now, the way the market is going. I mean, that's awesome. So Alice, why don't we talk about that too? I mean, how can people get involved with you? How can people work with you inside of your fund?
Yeah, so I love talking about this stuff, and I've taught many master classes at different masterminds about private equity structure, as well as passive income generation, and about the path to growing your asset base. It's all about kind of growing and accelerating the growth of your asset base. So I'm happy to take one-on-one calls. And as you know, I have a QR code that has my contact info. So I'm happy to share that
That's awesome.
when it's time.
Absolutely. We'll definitely share that in the descriptions as well. And but that's awesome, Alice. I mean, it definitely sounds like there's a ton of opportunity, with getting involved with this. I mean, as you know, there's so many other different real estate investment strategies out there, from creative finance, going into, Section 8, storage facilities. So I'm curious, right? I mean, there's so many different vehicles that you can get involved in with real estate. So, I mean, how does investing in land development compare to all of those other real estate investment strategies that I was just talking about in terms of, your risk and return?
I mean, there's a lot of ways to make money in real estate, of course. And so I kind of put things into two buckets. So the one bucket is if you like to operate in real estate, you want to actually have a real estate business that you want to scale. I would say continue to do that because
Mhm.
that is your source of an active income. But once you have that, then I think the right thing to do is to, again, diversify from just solely relying on your active income into a passive investor as well. Like I said, two different skills. So get involved with different funds. I like funds more than syndications because syndications is typically one singular asset, right? So funds are more diversified. It's typically more than one assets and typically possibly more than one operators. So I
Mhm.
think get involved in funds. And as an investor, your check size doesn't have to be very big, but just get started and to learn about the structure of
Mhm.
these offerings. Ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions about the investment thesis, and that's how you learn. It's a little bit like learning how to ride a bike, and that's how I personally learned as well. So 12 years ago, I began investing my own capital into mostly the alternative investment class. So a lot of private equity funds, some venture capital funds, different real estate syndications. And so that's how I learned as well. So I would encourage that. So I think that's the right way to get started. So keep your active business, keep scaling that, have that source of income stabilized, and then start to acquire the skill set of an investor.
That's amazing. I appreciate you sharing that advice, Alice. I know the audience is going to definitely take so much value from that. So I know you have your QR code, but also would you like to list out maybe your email? We're going to drop that in the descriptions as well. But maybe you can just list out what your email is on here, maybe your website, things like that, how people can work with you.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah. So my email is achen@phcfunds.com. So that's ACHEN at phcfunds.com. PHC stands for Pender Hastings Capital Funds.com. That's our website address as well. And let me just flash my QR code
Yes,
so you
let
can
us
see.
flash it.
Yeah, let me try that. Okay.
And just remember, guys, you can pause the video just to get this QR code. Don't miss out.
Okay. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, I think my system is not letting me share, but I will make sure to send my QR code to you so that people can contact me.
Perfect. Yep, Alice. What we're gonna do is we're definitely take a screenshot of that and edit it inside of this video, guys. So definitely be sure to add that QR code so people know where to go.
Okay.
Awesome. But
Okay.
Alice,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much for
much for
having me.
no, thank you for making the time. I definitely learned a lot myself, and now I'm even interested in this. A lot of stuff I did not know, but this is the whole point of being involved in working with experts, right, in different industries. You just never know what you can learn. You never know who you can work with. You never know what opportunity can come along. So, guys, definitely be sure to check out Alice. I appreciate you all tuning in, and as always, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.